Back in with a new video. Um, I actually filmed a video 2 days ago, but my camera roll is full. Um, so I deleted that video, took yesterday, emptied out my camera roll because there was like 5,500 photos and videos. So that took a little bit to download onto my laptop. Yeah, so actually I filmed the video and it was only 2 packages plus some extra things, and now it's um, 2 more packages, which I was going to do 2 separate videos, but now I'm just going to do one whole video with everything. Plus I changed the background, put some 2 new cards back there, the Milla and the Tianu, the 1978 Americana set from France. Changed the background a little bit. I think it looks nicer. We'll probably change it again in the next few weeks. Whenever I get my PWCC stuff shipped back to me, some of that will definitely go in the background because there's some good cornerstones of my pieces that I've picked up in the last few months. So I guess the first thing I'll start off with is went to Barnes & Noble with some friends, and I saw that they had Panini albums in the magazine section, and I haven't picked up any new items, and I was like, let's look at it. So I was looking at the NBA one, and I saw Victor Wembanyama in the back of one of the packs, and I was like, sure, if I'm guaranteed a Wembanyama, and so I went through all the rest of them, and I couldn't find Victor in the packs, and so I was like, okay, well, that's good. He doesn't come with every single album. And then I saw that there was a Copa America one for the 2023-2024 Copa America. I guess it's really just the 2024 Copa America. And I picked that up too because I'd never seen a Copa album. And I enjoyed the Copa this year. So I picked that up, and I just got all the NBA stickers in this thick top loader. Nothing crazy there. All the cards that came with it in this top loader, they'll just be placed in a box because there were no parallels or anything important. Here's all the stickers from the Copa album. The Argentina players and the USA players in the parallels. The coolest thing I think I got was this golden Pele. I don't know, I pulled 2 golds, so that just looked cool. But here's a Victor, and it is a parallel. It's like a chrome type card, so I was happy to grab those. That was kind of fun. What else? I'm pretty sure I've already talked about these postcards, but I grabbed a bunch more of those. I think I talked about that in the last video. I should really move stuff so I remember what I've already talked about. My dad found a bunch of 78 tops at Goodwill, plus 1 Chipper Jones. Andre Dawson, Rookie Cup, Pete Rose, William McCovey, Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, Jim Rice, Steve Carlton, Rod Carew, Gary Carter, Carlton Fisk, Bergie Jenkins, Dusty Baker, and then the rest of all-stars and people he remembered growing up. So that was cool. They seemed in pretty decent shape for 78s. A lot of these are super sharp. A couple of the Hall of Famers are not gradable. The the rest of them, like this Pete Rose, is super sharp. But yeah, those will stay in short sleeves and just be placed in the general vintage box for baseball, the 80s stuff. Let's see. I know I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, that's right. So this came in, and this was my one win from ML Collectibles a couple weeks ago. And what this is the 1912 Olympics program for the decathlon. Not really program, this was issued after the Olympics, but it was issued for the 1912 Olympics. And it shows Jim Thorpe because he won gold in the decathlon, and it shows him twice. And it shows a picture that I've never seen. So this is a super popular picture. His 1912 Stockholm postcard, one of 3 of his, is this image. So I was happy to get that. But the main reason I bought it was it shows him like this for one of the events in the decathlon. So I thought that was super cool. I'll probably figure out a way to display this. You know, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me for what it is. It's 112 years old. So there's that. I've been looking at a bunch of albums. I've been thinking about picking up 5 to 7 albums. One from, well, you know, there's the Mexico one from 49 I'm looking for. That's definitely would be a pickup if I found it. The 69 Peru album would definitely be a huge pickup. Those 2 are, I think, at the top of my list. There are some 30 Spanish albums. I'm looking for a Czech album from the 30s, a Yugoslavia album from the 30s. Those will probably, you know, after I get the Mexico and the Peru one at the top of my list. I'm looking at the Spanish ones from the 30s. I'm looking at Uruguay from the 80s, Colombian one from the 80s, well, 2 from the, and then a Colombian one from the 50s. 3 of those are being held for me, so that they're, you know, there's plenty of time to grab those. Yeah, I'm starting to space on what exactly I'm looking at because I've looked at so many, but I'm thinking next year one of the biggest pulls early in next year will be a bunch of those albums, because I'll send them to have the stickers and stuff and hopefully graded, because a lot of them are, I would, you know, if the singles come up for the players I'm looking for, I would grab those, but I just don't see them coming up for a, you know, this I think would be the cheapest price. Plus I would get a bunch of stars like Pele and De Stefano for those 50 albums. And then let's see, so I've already showed those Peru issues off. I guess we'll talk about, I want to sell my Puskas autograph and some of those albums. Oh, there are a couple albums from Israel, one from the 30s and one from the 50s, so before and after World War II. And I don't think they show any like historical athletes. You know, Israel was created before 1940, but the area, you know, is Palestine or whatever the history behind all that. So, you know, I'm filming this before work. This is actually really early right now, and I'm not really able to think all that much. But I don't know. I've been thinking about those albums, and I think those would be a good addition to the collection as well. And I'm thinking, so I have a buyer who wants this at about 4 times as much as I paid for it, and so this is why I'm letting it go. I've never been a fan of it. I love the autograph. I just don't like the picture, or the Beckett grade. The fact that it's graded by Beckett. So yeah, so I want to let it go and use the money towards albums. And then I had, so one of the two packages that came in was from ComC, and it was Ted Drake. And then the main reason, Eddie Paris. It's the 1934 Hunt for the Cup issue. I'm pretty sure the earliest issue for Ted Drake and the only issue for Eddie Paris. So that was good. I just noticed that Eddie Paris came up, and I started looking at other, because I think there's 5 issues I want, and now I have 2 of them. So that was one package, and the second package was a deal made on Discord for a bunch of Swedish issues, and he included a bunch of extras, and so I'm super thankful for all that. And the story was I was making a deal for 4 graded cards, and he was like, hey, I have these Swedish you know, quote unquote rookies if you're interested. And I had actually lost on all the ones he showed me on ML Collectibles like the day before. And so you know, I just thought that it was a sign for me to grab them. And yeah, so we made a deal for the entire lot, and I think it was a great deal because I got so much more than I thought I was getting. So we'll look at the ungraded and the extras first, and then we'll touch on the 4 graded cards. Gunnar Grin, so this is 63 Corelli. Bo Larson. What the backs of these look like. Another Bo Larson. I need to figure out the years on them and put them in my Excel sheet. 31 issues, Rydell and Kroon. And some non-Swedish issues says, what's his name? Rudy Hayden. So I think this might be his earliest issue. It's from 32. Some Hoffmans. Another Hoffman. And then here's all the extras. He also included some 50 or 60. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure these are 1950 Uruguayan stickers of players I had bought from him before. So Varela. I'm still missing his 1942 issue. I was gonna make a deal with somebody, but then I just, you know, I bought a lot of stuff, and I think he was asking a little bit too much for it. So I think it's going to stay in the Discord. So I might pick it up next year if it's still available. Miguez. I have 2 of his. And then Gambetta. So I have issues of Gambetta and Miguez already from 1949. But I was happy to get these and the Varela. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And here are the 4 graded issues, which I'll put into that. So we're starting off with Gunnar Grin. So 1948 Spar Banken issue. went from having no Gunnar Grin issues to 2 in one day. So that was pretty cool. 1948 Niles or Nils. So these were the three strikers that made the offensive line for Sweden for the 1950 World Cup. You know, the entire 50s, I guess. But that, I'm pretty sure that's his earliest issue. And then the Gunner. So these were considered the rookies for Gunner. The rookie for Gunner. But there was a 1943 issue that showed up, and it's amazing. It's so colorful. I have one issue from that set. That album is on my want list as well, but I will probably have to settle on grabbing a single of just Gunner, because Niles isn't in it. Gunner Grin's in it. However, his earliest issue is a Corelli from 1939. And then I grabbed the 1930 Finalistas, Peregrino, and Selma, which is just a metal Pog. But it's the only one graded. I think they just started grading this, so I'm sure it'll change. But right now, that's his earliest issue graded by PSA. I know he has earlier 1920 Brazil issues, but I'm not. Those Brazilian issues are insane to come by. So I'm happy to have the 1930 for now. For right now, he's credited with being the first false 9. And he did it in the World Cup, in the first World Cup. So, yeah. And then my biggest package that checks off the biggest box for 2024 for my personal collection, when sets are included, is the 1922 Felix Potent set. And I have, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 Felix Potent cards here. I already had 2 that I picked up for like $15 for both of them. Soccer players. And these are the earliest French cards known. And what it is the rookie of, in the whole set, there are 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 3 is 14. There are 14 soccer players, 4 Hall of Fame tennis players, and then of course you have Major Taylor. I think he has 2 issues. You have Duke, but I don't really care about the Major Taylor, and I don't care about the Duke. Jack Johnson is in it. Jack Dempsey, one of his most sought after cards. So that card I'm looking for, or not looking for, is pretty available. That card I want to add to my collection at some point when I get back into boxing. I'm going to keep going hard in soccer for a while. The 4 Hall of Fame tennis players I'm looking for, and the entire soccer set I'm looking for. And I'm sure there's some cyclists or racers as well, but I haven't done any research on the earliest issue for those guys yet. But yeah, so let's do the commons for the soccer players first, and we'll get into the 3 issues for the soccer players and then the tennis players. So you have Maurice, Albert, Barnadell, Gamblin, Doubly, Boyer, the 3 big guys, Hughes, he's the smallest one, DeWaux, I'm not too sure how you pronounce his last name, and then Nicholas. I get all those in top loaders, but I haven't bought any new ones. I need a bunch. And then 3 Hall of Famers for tennis that I have. Tilden, which is the biggest one. Alonso. And Brogdon. So now I'm missing 3 soccer players, you know, just £5 or $5 a piece. And then 1 Hall of Fame tennis player, which I think is Susie Lingland, or yeah, maybe I think it's that. Yeah, so you know, I'm not in a rush to grab those whenever they pop up. The Susie, I'm just waiting to pop up. I haven't seen one, so hopefully it'll pop up sometime. Yeah, that's all I got with packages that have come in. I have several that are coming in over the next week or 2, so I'll make a video when all those come in. Yeah, I've just been looking at a bunch of albums, doing research on a bunch of earliest issues, been able to find a lot, make deals. So, yeah, it's been good. Well, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them on the video. All right, peace.